Sitting above Elwyn Forest on the Eastern Kingdom's northwest coast, boldly stands the walls of a city that refused to buckle during the First War, the Wrath of the Lich King, and the emergence of Deathwing, and so many other horrible events. This city is the Jewel of Azeroth that goes by many names, but through all manner of tongues, it is most commonly known as Stormwind City. Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Island, and I would love to welcome you all to the Core Roleplayers Guild. I'm a big fan of roleplaying in MMOs, and I've been at it since World of Warcraft released the Burning Crusade back in 07. For a long time now, many years in fact, I've wanted to reach out to the roleplaying community and show that passion. Only now am I doing so, and I would like to start by giving a list of places across Azeroth, starting with Stormwind, that I feel are great for roleplaying. Now, I know starting with the main city, a place where the hub of roleplay on the Alliance side is often stationed, may not be the most unique place. I believe many of you Alliance roleplayers will already know of most, if not all, of these locations. If you were to tell me that I just wanted to play it safe, well, I would have to agree with you. I wanted to start off with an easier area, and since I primarily roleplayed on the Alliance side, I felt it was a fitting beginning. That all said, I really appreciate you guys for watching, so let's begin. The road to Stormwind is well traveled, with many soldiers, adventurers, traders, and common folk walking upon its cobbled stones. Your dream could start here, you may think to yourself. To be a master craftsman, a mighty warrior, a diplomat, a student of the arcane, a parent, or maybe just to finally find a place to rest. It could be night, day, midday, or dusk, but as soon as you approach the city, you would see the gates stood an elf or more above the tree lines, with the Alliance banners flowing gently in the breeze. For a moment, you could find yourself at awe. 1,000,000 souls have passed through this gate before you, and 1,000,000 more may enter after. To greet them, to greet you, stands the statues of some of the bravest individuals ever to grace the surface of Azeroth. So sad that only a few of the mighty heroes, whose stories could not be told, did not find their likeness here. For this is the Valley of Heroes. The Valley of Heroes is the entrance into Stormwind from the Elwyn Forest. It is a bridge with several large statues on either side that spans over a small lake. Tall lantern posts light the path in, and though it does not have many places to rest, I can see many scenes playing out here. To the right, as you enter the gates of the valley, a ramp leads down to a humble little dock. A boat, a small shack, a cart to haul provisions, and supplies all in one area for you to have any number of scenes. Across the lake, past the bridge, on the other side of the valley, is this small little grassy area. There's not much to it, and sometimes that's the point. Just a place where a character, their allies, and even their mount can rest in a moment's peace. The Valley of Heroes is just the beginning to this great city, but there's many scenes that could be played out here. A character may look at these great statues and be mesmerized. A historian could come here daily as part of a ritual, or maybe someone could look upon these monuments with disdain, envy, and even hatred. Here there is a Worgen. They cannot decide between who they are and who they were. They spend more gold so they don't have to think about it anymore. There is a young man asking to see a wand kept in a vault. He keeps it protected. It was his mother's. He misses her very much. A girl curses at her misfortune. She lost gold in her last venture. No one wants to buy wool that smells like apples. She won't get to eat tonight, but her many siblings will. Though she is upset, she is thankful. The trade district may be difficult to roleplay in, as there's a lot of non-roleplay traffic, but with a large enough capacity to ignore trolls, I believe you can find a scene or two here. There's a few places here that I feel are wonderful examples of hidden gems found in the rough. The first place I really wanted to show everyone were all the shops here, but I soon realized that they all had a cookie cutter appearance. The shops here consist of a ground level where you can look at goods and buy from the shopkeeper, with an upper level designed to store items. The bank is a place I think would be good for a scene or two. It offers plenty of space for everyone, role players or not. With plenty tellers to add to your scenes, you also have access to two other small rooms within the vault itself. One room has gold sitting neatly in stacks, the other has mini vaults that could hold any number of items. It doesn't matter if you're poor, a wealthy upstanding member of society, or if you're just a wealthy deviant, the bank has a scene for you. The next place on this list is less traveled than you'd think. Back before the times of the Lich King, this area would see dozens of players running to and from. But with the addition to being able to fly on your own in Cataclysm, you only see players too new to have flying mounts, characters who aren't high enough leveled, or people who have to AFK while traveling. I think this opens up this simple area to let it become an excellent scene. The area is one large room settled within the walls of the city. It has several griffins and NPCs to add to your scenes, a spot where the griffins travel to and fro, and a place that overlooks the Valley of Heroes. Nestled across the bridge from the Mage Quarter, there is a place called Galena Winery. Within are several large casks, a few NPCs, and a simple bar. There's nothing much more than that, and it's all we need as roleplayers. You could have any number of scenes in here, and it's away from the more populated areas without being so far away. "Free drinks at the Blue Recluse," Eric shouted to the quarter. This, of course, was a lie. You are here though because your studies have taxed you to the breaking point. How are you supposed to memorize all the basics for dimensional rifting in a matter of hours? It wasn't your fault that you were accidentally turned into a sheep for the better part of 2 weeks. How could the teachers do this to you? You sit down to begin the process of a cram session, when your thoughts are interrupted. "Ask me how to get a free drink from the Blue Recluse." The Mage Quarter is arguably the central hub for roleplay on the Alliance side. This is where most people go for random roleplay, to share stories, to see their characters develop, or just to kill some time. The Blue Recluse is, as I had said before, the most well-known hub on the Alliance side for roleplaying. Places to rest outside, mini tables and seats inside for any number of groups, a bar, and even a small assortment of books to use for references. This place truly does have it all. It has been the central point for countless scenes, and I'd wager countless more will be witnessed here. Outside the Recluse, a sprawling tower stands over all the surrounding buildings. One of the places where I never see roleplay, even with the plethora of people roleplaying right outside, is at the top of this tower. There's a study here with books, magical artifacts of all kinds, chairs to sit, literally everything you need for a scene, but I have never seen anyone RP here. It's most likely due to all the through traffic, but I think that adds to the scene. This whole area is meant to be a hub for teleporting across Azeroth into the distant lands beyond. Of course, there's going to be people going to and from. That makes sense for any scene here. The Slaughtered Lamb, a place that hosts those with the same taste as its name implies. It sits across from a well. Inside you will find, at first, a bar, 2 tables, beautiful artwork, and a dark atmosphere. However, in the back, a doorway shows you the way down. Then down, down, into the depths of the Lamb. You will find yourself among the hidden powers of Stormwind. With a roaring fire, magical artifacts, and plenty of NPCs, you can craft just about any scene here. But then, down, down, and down further. Into the bones of the forgotten, into the crypts. Many rooms are settled down here. Each is mostly the same. Bones here, a casket there, and a mysterious fellow who is always stalking you. I'm being honest when I say that I'm having a hard time writing a segment for Lion's Rest. Not because I can't find the words, but because the whole of Lion's Rest, the park, is one big roleplayer's playground. You will find so many people here just relaxing, waiting for walk-ups, enjoying a scene with friends, etc. You have serene waterfalls, a sprawling oceanic view, fountains to rest by, just everything, and with it being so large, you have plenty of room to share with others. There is one spot I don't think many people use very often or can overlook here, and that's this small little boat down at the bottom of the cliff near the docks. There's nothing else here. It's just a tiny boat. A small part of you remembers the light. Your mentor had put so much faith in it, and he was well respected. Some loved him for his unyielding loyalty, others for his undeniable strength. You loved him for he was your father, a title worthy of far more than any he had ever earned before or after. He was a man of complete devotion until the very end. Now, here you stand, a woman cold to the touch, in the warm embrace of the church. You think about the light of your childhood. You came back to learn how to serve the light in death. You never forgot. Not even as the blade was driven through your chest. You never forget. With the church at its center, this area has some of the best places in the city for roleplaying. Like I said about Lion's Rest, this place is just one big playground for us. As of writing this script, it has the most separate places of all the districts in this video. To the right of the church, behind the orphanage, there is the Argent Dawn building. When I was a part of the Stormwind University some odd years ago, they used this area as a HQ for the guild. I don't know if that's still true today. Right next to the Argent Dawn office, there is the City Hall. It has 2 stories to it, with a desk that people can walk up to. Same as the Argent Dawn office, I have seen people use this as a guild's HQ and to even recruit others. Massive in size, this building stands above all the others except for the keep itself. Inside is no different. This place is big. I have seen this place used for actual gatherings, talkings of the light, worship, and a place where characters have even been married. To the right as you enter is a place of study, with books, tables, chairs, NPCs, everything that you need to create a stage. Down underneath the church are the catacombs, and besides for the occasional torture device, you'll find the bones of many a dead heroes and worshippers here. Behind the church, there is the Gazebo. From time to time, you will see many role players here having a romantic relationship with another person, setting up some sort of scene, just passing by. And again, when I was in the Stormwind University, we had used this as a stage for events. A little ways past the Gazebo lies many souls. Some were soldiers, some were common folk, some were even royalty. This is a stage of reflection and of mourning. It's another area that is so large that many groups can roleplay here and never even bother each other. You can craft so many stories here. Your character could have family here, maybe even a lover, though it does not matter who you lost, but that there is a place you can go to see them again. And that does it for part 1 of Stormwind City. When I sat down and I wrote this script, I was going to do all of Stormwind at once. As I began to record the areas, get actors, start editing, I realized that this video was going to be close to an hour long. And I didn't want my very first video, my very first work into this be something that everyone had to sort of trudge through. I wanted something that people could sit down and really enjoyably watch and listen to. I went and asked some other friends of mine who all do YouTube editing, and they told me that 30 minutes is probably better than an hour for this sort of video. So I'm cutting this video in half. Next episode, we're going to be taking a look at the rest of Stormwind. I would like to give a very special thank you to some people who took time out of their lives to help me with this project. Vashti from the Valley of Heroes, Morgert from Lion's Rest, Alexanderov from the Mage Quarter, Sestriel from the Trade District, and a big thank you to Susie, All Might, Tanayan, and Adias in the Cathedral Square. If you are a guild you're in and would like to participate as in-game actors for future scenes, please join me on my Discord with the other in-game actors. I'll leave a link down below. You can also find me on Twitter at the Core Roleplay Guild. And again, thank you everyone who watches this video and who has watched this video. This has been a passion project of mine for a very long time, and this is the very first of many episodes. I plan to go zone by zone and scout them all out. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next episode. Hey, but before you go, today's proverb: you can be a sheep for 50 seconds, but your existential crisis, it's going to be forever.